Hey, what's up Ms? Edward Dziak here. In this video, you will learn how to become an expert in blogger outreach. You will discover how to find the right blog insights, segment them, how to find the right person and their contact information, how to create perfect emails that convert, and finally how to scale the whole process. And not only that, but also give you the best practices for blogger outreach to ensure your first blogger outreach campaign doesn't end up in the spam or deleted but gets the desired results. And you will learn a lot more and we have a lot to cover, so let's get started. But before that, if you learned something new throughout the video, please give this video a like, write a nice comment below and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more best SEO and marketing practices. So first of all, what is a blogger outreach? Proper blogger outreach is a process of researching, connecting and persuading bloggers in a non-spammy way by using outreach tactics and strategies in order to achieve your objective, such as giving you a backlink, promoting your product or services, collaborating and others. Also, at the same time, build a relationship with your prospects, and it is an essential strategy for growing your website and online presence. Unfortunately, most people that are trying to do blogger outreach want to simplify and half-ass the processes, avoid the difficult parts, scale it without personalization, and in any other way save their time, which often results in terrible emails like this one. But this is not a blogger outreach. A blogger outreach is a personalized, research and well-crafted plan with a message to the right person to build a relationship, get you what you want, and with a clear beneficial outcome for both parties. It takes time and resources to do it the right way, and sending hundreds or even thousands of emails with personalized name is not personalization. Yes, there are a lot of bad blogger outreach. Honestly, most of them suck. So in this video, you are going to learn to do blogger outreach the right way and not the spammy way. Blogger outreach is one of the most important parts of SEO strategy to grow your website visibility, ranking, and organic traffic. It's also a great promotional strategy as you can reach your audience without organizing or participating in expensive events. Blogging for business or for fun became a very popular activity of many people and businesses, and according to Growth Badger, there are over 600 million blog posts. And just WordPress alone, each month more than 409 million people view over 20 billion pages on WordPress.com sites. And to cut through the noise, blogger outreach is one of those secret keys to growing your business online, as it helps you to promote your products and services by connecting with influential bloggers or companies that attract your target audience to their website. A blogger outreach is a powerful strategy, and by regularly doing it, it can bring you a ton of benefits. But here are three main benefits of blogger outreach. The first and arguably the biggest reason why everybody is doing blogger outreach is that it will be your main source of high quality backlinks, especially at the beginning. Blogger outreach is a SEO's daily bread, because if you want to build backlinks for your website on a consistent basis, you will need to do blogger outreach. And backlinks are one of the most important Google ranking factors. The more backlinks you have, the more your ranking will grow. In the end, SEO in its very simple form is just content and backlinks at this present moment. And unfortunately, for you to get backlinks, you cannot just sit around and hope you will attract backlinks, as Google wishes you would do. Because for you to naturally attract backlinks, you need to bring users to your web pages. To bring users to your web pages, you need to be ranking. And for you to be ranking, you need backlinks. Of course, you can still rank without backlinks, but often only for non-very competitive SEO keywords that rarely attract links. It's a very slow and tedious process, but can be done. However, with blogger outreach, you can speed up the process. Plus, John Miller from Google said, from our point of view, it's fine to contact people and tell them, it's like, by the way, I have this great content and maybe it's something that you would appreciate for your website. That's generally fine. The second benefit of doing blogger outreach is that it is one of the cheapest and yet very effective promotional ways to promote your products or services. Promoting your solutions on Google, Facebook, Reddit, and other platforms require you to consistently pour money into them so they can run the ads. However, to promote your products or services with blogger outreach, you don't need a lot of money to start promoting your products or services. Quite otherwise, with blogger outreach, you can start literally for free or by just subscribing to blogger outreach tools that help you to speed up the process. However, some of the tools can be quite expensive and cost hundreds of dollars, but if you are going to use the tool on a regular basis, it can have an amazing ROI. And the third benefit of blogger outreach is it helps you to build relationships. Good blogger outreach always comes with building a relationship first before asking for anything. Especially the more influential and authoritative website, the more you will need to work hard on building the relationship before getting your foot into doors. And by doing blogger outreach, you can help grow your influence, branding, customer base, and trust with your audience. Nowadays, bloggers are influencers that can help you promote your products and services. And a great example of doing blogger outreach for building a relationship is Ford. They started inviting bloggers to their Ford Auto Show, which helped them to increase brand awareness, build relationship, and have the highest share of positive voices among all their competitors at these type of events. Or my personal example is SE Ranking. They reach out to me when I just started my blog and YouTube channel and offer me a free subscription for their SEO tool, which let me use the tool all the time and show you how to do SEO processes using their tool in my articles and videos. And despite only a few thousand readers, this helped them to increase brand awareness and drive new customers by only providing free subscription to me. Blogger outreach is a quite simple and straightforward process in terms of doing it, but then there are those parts where you need to be creative, innovative, and willing to try new things. With that, let me guide you through my 8-step process of blogger outreach. The first step of your blogger outreach is to decide what blogger outreach strategy you are going to do, as it will influence things like what bloggers you are searching for, how to vet them, pitch them, and what is the objective you want to achieve. Now, there are many different link building strategies and promotional strategies that require you to do blogger outreach. So here you can see a few of the most common. Based on what blogger outreach strategy you will be doing, you might modify your list of blogging sites and your page. Also, it will help you to set your goals and objective to know what you are trying to achieve with your blogger outreach. The second step of your blogger outreach is to find blogging sites. But before you start searching for blogging sites, you should create a spreadsheet where you will save your prospects if you are not using any blogger outreach tools. For me, when I'm creating my spreadsheet, I usually include columns like domain or web page, website authority, organic traffic, name of the person, job title, and the email address. And there are many ways how you can find bloggers and sites with blogs in your industry or those that match your criteria for your blogger outreach campaign. But here are 3 of my favorite methods to find blogging sites. The first method is to find your competitors using the competitor analysis tool. There are a lot of SEO tools that gives you competitive research tool and provide similar information I'm going to show you. And for this tutorial, I'm going to use SE Ranking. So to find my competitors, I'll open the SE Ranking competitive research tool, enter my website and select my targeted location. Then I go to the competitors report. And here I have hundreds of close competitors based on my ranking keywords and excellent sites for doing blogger outreach, especially for link building. So now I can export the results and include this in my spreadsheet. And to get even more results, you can analyze your very close competitors to see their list of competitors and just clean up any duplicates. The second method to find bloggers is by searching for keywords in your industry using Google search. For example, I'm in the SEO niche, therefore keywords like backlink audit, keyword analysis, or blog SEO are all related keywords to my niche. All these sites can be great prospects for your blogger outreach, but again, it depends on what's the purpose of it. So once you have your Google search results, you can just export them into a spreadsheet using free Google extension like SEO Quake, and then clean up the list and paste them into your spreadsheet. And the last method I like to use for my blogger outreach, especially when I'm trying to build backlinks for my new blog post, is looking at my competitors' web pages that are ranking for my target keyword and see who links to them. For example, recently I wrote an article on on-page SEO. So to see who is ranking in the top position for this keyword, I just enter the keyword in SE Ranking Organic Results tool and select my target location. Then I take a few top ranking competitors with the highest traffic and with the same type of content I want to create, which is a blog post, and run backlink analysis to see who links to them. And from here, I can just scroll through the results and select the most suitable blogging sites based on my blogger outreach strategy. And of course, there are many more ways to find your prospects, usually specific to your link building strategy or promotional strategy. Therefore, I recommend you learn how to find blogging sites based on the strategy you have selected. The third step of your blogger outreach is to segment your blogging list or your list of potential prospects. For this, I have created a spreadsheet with a list of blogging sites in the coffee niche, and on the top, green highlighted, you can see my imaginary site with my imaginary stats. So, for me to segment this list, first I need to have the website authority and organic traffic stats. To do that, you will need to use an SEO tool. If you don't have one, you can use my link in the description to try SEO ranking for 14 days for free and follow me along the way. So, to get the information, I will paste the domain into SEO ranking competitive research tool. Here I can find everything I need and much more. So, let's complete the spreadsheet. Additionally, usually if you are using SEO or blogger outreach tool to get the list of your potential prospects for blogger outreach, it will also come with this information, which makes it much easier. So, once you have the information, then I like to sort the domains by website authority. And now I will sort the domains into 4 categories. The first one are low tier, which are from 0 to 39. These are small dogs, usually easy to get in touch with and communicate with the owner or somebody in charge. These will not do much for your ranking, but are perfect for starting. The second one are mid-tier, which are from 40 to 69. These are the average Joes. They are usually more established, were working a couple of years on their website and drive decent traffic. Still relatively easy to get in touch and communicate, and always good to have backlinks from them, regardless of your website authority. The third category is high tier, websites between 70 to 84 website authority. These are the high quality backlinks you want to build. Usually there are multiple people involved in the process and it's hard to get in touch with them. They have already processes to follow, and to get chance with them you need to build a relationship or they must already know you. And the last category is the supreme tier, websites between 85 to 100. These are the leaders in the industry. They dream of your collaboration and backlinks. They are hard to get. Usually they select you rather you select them, or you pay a hefty price to collaborate. A lot of processes to follow, a lot of people involved, and hard to find the right person. It can take months to see any results from blogger outreach. Based on this, usually you will want to start with the tier you are in, or lower, and then work your way up as your website authority grows. The next important step of your blogger outreach is to find the right person. Arguably, this is the most important step of your blogger outreach, and it is absolutely crucial for you to take time to find the right person who would be interested in your offer and has the power to do whatever you ask for or has the influence. Because even if you prepare the most personalized and awesome page and send it to the wrong person in an organization, then there is a very slim chance for you to get anything out of your blogger outreach. For example, I received a ton of partnership and collaboration outreaches to sell and implement their products along with our product. However, this has nothing to do with me. I am not in charge of sales, nor I am not the CEO to decide that the company starts implementing and offering new solutions. So, what do you think I do? Nothing. I won't bother my CEO if they do not even bother to properly research their prospects. It shows me they are just not that interested in the collab. And the worst is when they send it to the general email for inquiries or submit a lead form. This definitely won't get them anywhere. Therefore, if you don't want to waste your time and burn your outreach emails, you need to find the right person. So, who is the right person? To find the right person, you will need a little bit of common sense, as it highly depends on the strategy and objective of your outreach. For example, I'm in charge of marketing. Therefore, any marketing activities, collaboration or partnership related to marketing will come through me. Therefore, outreach like this is an excellent example of how you should do it. They found the right person in a company to talk about their digital conference and if we want to participate there. Another example would be, if you are doing blogger outreach for guest blogging, then people from sales, finance or IT department are obviously not the right person to reach out to. And even the marketing department, you will need to find the right person in charge of the blog, like the head of content, SEO manager, editor-in-chief, or anybody in charge of the blog. But somebody who's in charge of social media or email marketing is not the one who you want to contact. So, to find the right person, let me show you a few techniques. The first place where you can find the right person is on the company About Us page. This is usually a great place to start to search within the company, as you can get quickly the right person by seeing who is working in the company and their job roles. Often, using the About Us page can save you a ton of time, especially if you are focusing more on companies than just bloggers. Where else would be a better place to find the right person that is responsible for a company blog than on the company blog itself? For example, let's say I'm doing blogger outreach for guest posting and one of my prospects is kinsta.com. So I need to find somebody who is in charge of their blog. And one of the best ways to do that is to go through their blog post and see the authors of the blog post and visit the author page. That's what I am talking about, the right person. As you can see, Matteo is the head of content at Kinsta. So he's definitely somebody who has the power to decide if I can become the guest contributor on their blog or not, and he's the perfect example of the right person for blogger outreach. Therefore, that's somebody I would save in my spreadsheet, and later I will show you how you can find his contact information. The third technique to find the right person is by looking at LinkedIn company profile. Similarly to the About Us page, here you can find people working at the company along with their job titles. Plus, you can already connect with them and start doing blogger outreach. However, this is not my cup of tea and I prefer email addresses. So, like this, you can start searching for the right information. Of course, there are more techniques to find the right person, such as going on Twitter, using Google, or going to forums like Reddit or Quora. Remember that not every technique has a 100% success rate. The reason why you want to know more than just one technique to find the right person is that sometimes the one technique does not provide the information or the right person. Alright, the next step, once you have the right person, is to find contact information. For blogger outreach, the best way to get in touch with them is via email, as it is not so intrusive as calling them or messaging them on social media. Therefore, I will show you two techniques how you can find their email addresses. To find contact information, and definitely one of the most used among outreach managers, is using tools like Hunter.io. There are a lot of types of tools like this one, but for this tutorial I am going to show you Hunter.io. With that, to find the contact information using Hunter, you can use the domain search. And this gives you a list of names and their email addresses, sometimes even their job position and LinkedIn profile as well. This is also a good technique to find the right person as well. You can also search for the contact information of a specific person in the organization or for the domain. So when I have found a Matteo in this step number 4, now it's time to find his contact information. And lastly, you can do this all at the same time using their bulk finder. This feature can save you tons of time and really speed up the process. Or if you found the right person via LinkedIn company profile, then you can also use tools like Apollo.io, which gives you the email information and even the mobile number of the person's LinkedIn profile. Plus, it helps you to track the progress of your outreach. Email and contact information lookup tools are essential for your blogger outreach, as getting the information from websites or social media is almost impossible, and sending your pitch to general emails will not get you any results. The second technique to find someone's contact information is to actually subscribe to their newsletter. This is one of the easy ways to find contact information of your prospect, as most of the newsletters will come from personal email, often somebody in charge that can help you. For example, I wanted to get in touch with Glenn from detail.com, so I subscribed to his newsletter where I got his personal email address to get in touch. And even if you receive an email from a general newsletter, you can just simply reply to that and the person in charge might reply and then go from there. However, don't send your pitch to that, otherwise they will not reply for sure. And the last technique to get personal contact information is to just ask for it from general email inquiries or by filling up a contact form. This simple yet powerful technique can get you personal contact information faster than you would expect. In many cases, the right person you are looking for. Just drop them a line that you are looking for a certain person and what is the best way to get in touch with them. However, I recommend you have an email signature that proves you are a valid person. That means real business and not just a spammer. Trust me, before they reply, they will check who you are and if it makes sense to reply. But on the other side, if you have a signature and you look like a guy that means business, it might spark his or her curiosity and they might be more willing to reply to you compared to if you would just send your page to them straight away. Alright, so you have found the right people to talk to. You have their email addresses and you are ready to blast their inboxes. However, this is where most people ruin all their effort by sending general emails, badly written templates, or not putting any effort into personalization. Just like any email marketing campaign, even with blogger outreach, you need to be personalized, at least to some degree. And 98% of marketers say personalization advances customer relationship, which also relates to your blogger outreach prospects as well. Therefore, using blogger outreach email templates will often harm your conversions more than you would just write the email by yourself, especially if you don't have the experience. Particularly using the more famous one, like from Brian Dean. I received so many of those emails that copy exactly the way how Brian gave his email templates. Therefore, before you start using templates for your blogger outreach, write your own emails and focus on sending emails to only one person at a time. Trust me, your results will be much better than just sending obvious templates that everybody ignores. But if you really need an email outreach template to get an idea of how it works, then I recommend you check out specific email templates based on your blogger outreach strategy. However, let me also share with you some of the best practices for email outreach when you are writing it yourself. The first tip I have for you when you are sending email blogger outreach, you always must include the name of the person you are sending to. Emails like this will get you ignored. You cannot get less personalized and lazier. I cannot imagine accepting their guest post if they are just as lazy as their emails. Then SEO God protects the website that accepts their proposal. This is your one-on-one email blogger outreach and must do. Every time you send an email, include the name of the person. Even if you send an email to general email inquiries, you should include the name of the person you want to talk to. The second piece of advice I have for you when you are sending email outreach is to avoid any general sentences, links, anchor text, or anything that just should look like personalization, but actually it's not. For example, an email I recently received has a bunch of generalization. Let me explain. First of all, you can see they have got a list of pages that are ranking for the keyword B2B marketing trends and any other similar keywords, and then include the URL of the prospect in the anchor text article. This is too general. Second, including general sentences like very helpful, detailed. It provided me with so much value. It's just not a good way to personalize, because there is nothing said what exactly in my article is so great. Third, and the worst is when they say I especially loved, and then they put general sentence that matches every of the article on their outreach list. This doesn't make it personalized. And lastly, no name again. Remember, your prospects aren't stupid and they can easily recognize bad email outreach even if you use personalized titles, anchor text, or URLs. They understand how the outreach tools work and how you can easily add those things to your email. The third tip I recommend you is to avoid using your personal email from free email providers. The reasons why you shouldn't use these are: first of all, most of the poor and spammy outreach comes from these free email providers. They are very easy to create by everyone. Second, despite you mean good business and you are not a spammer, you must understand that for the person on the other side, it's hard to verify it. And lastly, Gmail or Outlook are using spam detectors and stop their own users from sending too many same messages. This can get you blocked or end up in the spam folder much faster. Whenever you want to do blogger outreach, always use your website domain email address to verify who you are. It increases the trust with the prospect and he or she can easily verify if you are legit. If you want your blogger outreach to be successful, you need to be personalized to every prospect you are sending your cold email. That means using the person's name in the email and not just using hi there and others. Saying something that shows you actually read their article, did your research, or mention anything very specific to them, their product or company. Add real compliments specific to that person, not just blatant ones and fake flattery. Try to mention something about prospect interest. This can open their heart. And lastly, do you have any mutual connection? Mention it. Did you visit the same conference? Let them know, or anything similar. And there are many and many more ways to personalize emails. Just try to create a connection on a human level, just like in face-to-face, and you'll see how easy it is to be personalized. And the very last tip or advice I have for you when you are sending blogger outreach emails is to always focus on win-win situations. Unfortunately, most of the email outreach is always focused on one side only, and that's theirs and not yours. For example, as you can see here, besides there is no personalization whatsoever, there is also nothing for me, only extra tasks on my already busy to-do list. Why would I be interested? What's in it for me? Why should I even bother to reply? Emails like this are just wasting the time of your prospects and damaging your reputation. Therefore, you should always focus on where both sides are happy with the collaboration and not just you. It's selfish. And I understand. This is probably the hardest part of your outreach, and you should really try hard to come up with some solution that helps you and them in the same way, or even your prospect is benefiting more than you. However, you don't need to always figure it out what they want or what would make them say yes to your proposal. Sometimes just asking them can give you the best answer. Lastly, please don't ever offer social share for a backlink, especially on Twitter. I don't care how many billions of followers you have. The average lifespan of a tweet is 80 minutes. Even my first goldfish had a longer lifespan. While the backlink has a permanent benefit, or at least until I take it off. Unless you are a Gary Vee, Elon Musk, or any similar caliber, your tweet will do very little, especially company tweet. So, here we have some of the best tips and practices for sending blogger outreach emails. Of course, there could be many more and countless examples, but every interaction is different, so let's move to the next step. The next step of your blogger outreach is to follow up with your prospect. Your prospect is busy, gets tons of emails from all kinds of people, and even if they are genuinely interested in your offer, most probably your email didn't come at the right time. However, that doesn't mean you should give up on your prospect. Just because they did not reply, you don't know the reason why they didn't reply. So it's better to assume it wasn't because they are not interested. In fact, follow-up emails have a higher reply rate in general. The first follow-up email has a 40% increase in the reply rate in comparison to the first email. Just note, it doesn't mean your reply rate is 40%, rather it increases by 40%. So you shouldn't skip following up. It can cost you a prospect that's interested in your offer. However, if your prospect does not reply to your first follow-up, I generally do not send a second follow-up for blogger outreach because it is not like sales where you need to do 5 to 7 follow-ups. Also, for this, you can already use some kind of template, yet still with a certain level of personalization. Here you can see an example of my follow-up email. As you can see, I'm just trying to be as quick as possible. Remind the prospect what I proposed, ask if everything seems alright to him, and if it is not the right time to talk, I understand that and let him know that I won't bother anymore. And the last step of your blogger outreach is to scale your processes. Now, before you start scaling your blogger outreach processes right away, you must understand this should be done after you have done tens or even hundreds of email blogger outreach and start seeing improvement in your conversion rate. Before that, I recommend you go through the process yourself. Understand it, implement it, modify it to your suiting, and then start scaling so you don't get ripped off by freelancers or agencies. With that, here are my 4 best bits of advice to scale your blogger outreach. The first piece of advice I have for you when you want to scale is to invest in an actual blogger outreach tool. These tools can help you speed up the processes and avoid those tedious, time-consuming tasks such as prospecting and email finding. Instead, you can be focusing on more valuable tasks like building a relationship with your prospects and crafting the perfect pitches. For example, Snow.io can help you to quickly find email addresses and prospects from domains, and then help you to export your new prospects list with email addresses into your prospects list, and you can start launching your email campaign. Plus, they offer a free version so you can try it now as well. Outreach tools also provide statistic and engagement rates that help you to improve your future outreach campaign to keep growing your website. Definitely, if you want to scale up your blogger outreach, investing in outreach tools should be your first step to growing faster. Here is a list of recommended blogger outreach tools. The links are in the description. The second tip I have for you when you want to scale your blogger outreach process is to outsource anything that can be outsourced. For example, you can go on Fiverr and easily outsource email finding or find the right person to talk to. You just give them your specification and let them do the work. Things like that can take ages for you, but can be outsourced cheaply so you can focus on more important tasks in your blogger outreach. However, that's why before scaling your blogger outreach strategy, you should do it yourself so you know exactly what you need them to do and what information you want. Another tip I have for you when you want to scale your blogger outreach is to start using databases of bloggers. If you want to get your blogger outreach to the next level, then using blogger databases can help you really scale things up. Often databases like this already give you all the information you need, like what's the influential potential of the blog to find the right blogs that will have the biggest impact, the contact information of the people in charge, and helpful categories to find what you are looking for. Often, marketing agencies will be using databases like this to do link building and blogger outreach for their clients, as like this you can really focus on providing value to your prospects and sending the best emails. When I said don't use templates, I didn't mean forever, but until you get the proper idea of what works the best for you. Blogger outreach templates are essential for you to scale things up. You cannot be writing emails to every single person manually forever. It's good to learn, but not for growing. So once you understand what makes good email outreach, what really works and what isn't, then you can start writing your own templates and easily modify them to still keep it personalized. Trust me, if you do it like this, your templates will be much better than any you could find on the internet. Every company, interaction, and outreach is different, and it is important to have the experience to recognize to whom you can send personalized templates and to whom you should still write yourself. And the last and quick tip to scale your blogger outreach is to automate your follow-ups. Once you start growing your prospects list, doing more blogger outreach campaigns at the same time, things will get a bit messy, and you will forget to reply or even follow up. However, automating your follow-up can not only save you from headaches, but also from losing valuable prospects. It's one of the easiest things to do, but extremely effective. Therefore, automating your follow-ups should be on top of your list when you start scaling your blogger outreach. Alright, before you start with blogger outreach to grow your website and online presence, I want to share with you a few best practices for blogger outreach. The first best practice for blogger outreach I have for you is testing and practicing makes your blogger outreach perfect. Just like with everything, when you are starting with something, you most likely will suck at it, and that same applies to your blogger outreach and conversion rates. That's why I said, first, you should only focus on writing your own blogger outreach emails and avoid using templates and writing to only one person at a time. Yes, it's a very tedious and slow process with a lot of labor. However, this gives you a great opportunity to learn how blogger outreach works, what works for you the best, and test tons of different ways how to send pitch emails. All this gives you exposure to the craft, that once you start scaling and growing your website, you know exactly what you are doing and you won't be looking like those wannabe and spammers sending general bad outreach emails. The second best practice I have for you is to stay around your ballpark when you are doing blogger outreach. For example, when I go to SE Ranking competitive research tool, I can see my domain trust is 52. This means I should be mostly focusing on websites with similar domain trust plus minus 10 domain trust differences. The reason why you should do that is that it's much easier to find a common ground with websites on your level. Get in touch with them and get the desired outcome of your blogger outreach strategy. The big mistake you can do when you are starting with blogger outreach is to aim too high. Remember, the higher the website authority, generally the harder it is to get in touch with them and close a deal with them. Therefore, staying mostly in your ballpark helps you to achieve the best results and conversion rates. The third practice you should always follow is the sniper approach and not the shotgun approach. I believe the sniper approach was first introduced or popularized by HRs a while ago, and it is honestly the best way to do blogger outreach. However, unfortunately, many outreaches do not practice the sniper approach, but rather spray and pray method, aka shotgun approach. I get emails like this every day and I never reply. Even if I would be interested, I wouldn't probably reply, but went to Google and search for an alternative. And the reason why most people follow this method is that it's easy. Creating a template like this takes minutes, as well as getting a list of whatever emails they find, and they are ready to publish. But the problem with easy is that it gets you no results, and on top of that it damages your reputation, making it even harder to do business in the future. Instead, you should go with the sniper approach. Always try to target your messages to an individual person or a small group of people once you start using templates. The next blogger outreach best practice I have for you is to segment your list into specific and small categories. Once you start having a large list of 100 plus prospects on your blogger outreach list and start planning to use templates, then you will want to segment your prospects based on similarities like job position, product, niche, and etc. This will help you to create more personalized templates based on your segmented list. Just like when you are preparing your lead nurturing, you want to segment your email subscribers into specific categories. And the last best practice is to focus on building relationships. Successfully completing blogger outreach isn't about getting what you want from your prospect and disappearing right after. It's about building a relationship with influential people in your industry and getting your name out there in the best way. Your outreach campaign should always prioritize building relationships, even if it means you won't be getting anything at that point. Because remember, you are in for the long term, and what might seem like a loss now, a few years down the road can bring a big gains in form of bigger collaboration. And even despite your campaign is over, you got what you wanted, you still should maintain the new relationship by following them, sharing their content, giving shoutouts, commenting on their blog, or even dropping a backlink from one of your guest posts. As like this, they later can do the same for you. And as more people start promoting you or your brand, the bigger impact it will have. Remember, long-lasting relationships will keep bringing fruitful results even years after your initial blogger outreach. It's arguably the best way to grow your website presence in the most passive and definitely natural way that even Google loves. And that's all from me. I hope you have learned something new, so please don't forget to like this video, leave a nice comment below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, check out all my links in the description for my favorite link building and other marketing tools. Ciao!